Empress Suiko is identified in standard historical accounts as the first reigning empress of Japan. She was a daughter of Emperor Kinmei and was born within the ruling house centered in Yamato. Her maternal lineage is described as connected to the Soga clan, a powerful aristocratic family of the period. Traditional reckoning records her accession in 593 and her death in 628. Her reign unfolded within a political structure shaped by cooperation and tension between the imperial line and dominant clans. This documentary focuses on 5 documented actions associated with her reign and their institutional meaning. The first action is the maintenance of the imperial office as the central formal authority of the court. Under her reign, the structures of rulership were preserved rather than replaced. Court ritual, titulature, and sovereign proclamation continued to operate in her name. The preservation of these forms provided continuity at a time when aristocratic families exercised strong influence. Maintaining the visible structure of monarchy stabilized claims to unified authority across competing elites. The second action is the public recognition of Buddhism by the court. An edict described as honoring the 3 treasures is preserved in historical summaries. This recognition formalized a relationship between the state and Buddhist institutions. Official endorsement enabled temple construction and clerical participation in elite society. Religious recognition also provided a shared ideological framework among factions at court. The third action is the introduction of ranked differentiation within the aristocracy. The 12-level cap and rank system categorized officials according to defined grades. These ranks were visually represented and linked to administrative responsibility. The system altered how status and office were distributed among elite families. By defining rank through structured criteria, the court introduced a tool for bureaucratic coordination. The fourth action is the articulation of governance principles known as the 17-Article Constitution. This document outlined ethical and administrative norms expected of officials. It emphasized harmony, duty, and proper conduct within governmental service. The text functioned as guidance for court behavior rather than as a modern legal code. Its existence indicates an attempt to standardize expectations among office holders. The fifth action is diplomatic engagement with the Sui dynasty of China. Official missions were dispatched, reopening formal contact with the continent. These exchanges created channels for political communication and institutional observation. Diplomatic contact exposed the court to continental administrative models. Such exposure informed subsequent adaptations within the Japanese court structure. Each of these 5 actions reflects decisions recorded in historical sources. The preservation of monarchy provided a focal symbol of unity. Religious endorsement reshaped cultural and political alignment within elite society. Rank reform supplied an administrative framework beyond hereditary precedence alone. Normative governance principles articulated expectations for official conduct. Diplomacy positioned the court within a wider East Asian political sphere. Her reign also included delegation of operational governance. A prince traditionally identified as Shotoku Taisha held a central administrative role. The Soga clan maintained substantial influence within decision-making processes. This arrangement reflects a distribution of power rather than solitary rule. The sovereign office functioned as the legitimizing center while policy execution involved leading aristocrats. Such distribution of authority shaped how reforms were implemented. Institutional measures required cooperation among multiple power holders to become effective. The ranking system depended on collective recognition of graded status. Religious policy depended on patronage networks that extended beyond the palace. Diplomatic missions required organized logistical support and elite approval. These features illustrate governance as structured collaboration within hierarchical order. Standard historiography presents her reign as a formative stage in early Japanese state development. Textbooks identify her as the first reigning empress in the recorded sequence of monarchs. They associate her period with the emergence of bureaucratic and diplomatic practices. Scholarly analysis notes that attribution of specific policies can reflect later editorial framing. Where attribution remains debated, academic writing records the debate without definitive assignment. This narration confines itself to actions widely referenced in standard summaries. It does not speculate on personal intention beyond documented measures. The significance of her reign lies in observable structural adjustments. Monarchical continuity coexisted with administrative experimentation. Religious patronage intersected with political consolidation. Diplomatic outreach intersected with institutional borrowing. Elite cooperation intersected with formal hierarchy. These intersections define the historical profile presented in academic reference works. The imperial tomb designated as Isanaga Yamada no Misasagi remains an official memorial site. Its designation demonstrates how later institutions formalized remembrance of early rulers. Archaeological study and textual scholarship continue to refine understanding of this period. Yet the core actions outlined here remain consistent within mainstream historical accounts. Empress Suiko appears in the record as a sovereign whose reign coincided with structural transition. Her government combined preservation of tradition with introduction of ranked administration. It combined religious endorsement with diplomatic engagement. It combined symbolic authority with distributed executive influence. These combinations frame the analytical questions historians continue to examine. The sources present institutional change without providing direct access to personal deliberation. What remains visible are decisions recorded under her reign. Those decisions shaped patterns of governance that later courts expanded. Her position as the first reigning empress also established precedent within the dynastic sequence. That precedent did not eliminate clan influence but coexisted with it. The record therefore preserves a moment of structured adaptation rather than abrupt transformation. The actions associated with her reign illustrate how authority can be stabilized while administrative forms evolve. They illustrate how international contact can inform domestic institutional design. They illustrate how religious policy can function within political negotiation. They illustrate how shared governance can operate within a monarchical framework. These observations arise directly from documented measures preserved in historical writing. They leave open the broader question of how individual agency interacted with structural forces. The narrative record provides actions and institutional traces rather than personal testimony. Within those limits, Empress Suiko stands as a focal point of early state formation in Japan. Her reign presents a convergence of monarchy, clan power, religious endorsement, and diplomatic exchange. The evaluation of that convergence remains a matter for continued scholarly analysis. Thank you for watching Legends Great Figures. Please subscribe to our channel and give us a like.